So now we're going to be getting ready to write. So this is our bucketing, getting ready to write. And remember, we did our pre-bucketing over here, okay, where we had come up with our two reasons, northern neglect, southern resistance, and we kind of had started to come up with our rewriting the question, developing our thesis. So now are at the essay builder and getting ready to write. So you'll review the documents and organize them into your final buckets. You're going to drag the letters of the documents into the buckets, then type in the bucket labels. Feel free to add or delete a bucket. It's okay to put a document in more than one bucket. Remember, your buckets are going to become your body paragraphs. So we said in the beginning, we were just going to do 2 body paragraphs. You can do more if you choose, but these are your 2 things. So we want to see why the North was at fault and why the South was at fault. So we had said earlier that we were going to say Southern resistance or reasons the South was to blame. Well, or we can say, and the North, this will be the North, so Northern neglect or reasons the North was to blame. And it might not be Southern resistance and Northern neglect. It might be something else. It's up to you. But then when you to put into the buckets, you're going to find which documents support that, yeah, it was the South's fault, or yeah, it was the North's fault. So when you go back and look, you might say, all right, A supports Southern resistance and B supports Southern resistance. And then you might say C supports Northern neglect and D supports Northern neglect. You also can bring these in if you think that anything from here supports it. If you have stuff that you liked that you wrote in the background essay questions that you think supports either one of those, well, then you can drag that over to there too. Okay, so this is to help you when you go back to write to see where your textual evidence is going to be. Because remember, you need to have actual reasoning and textual evidence behind that. So you can see that from what I wrote in here, transferred down to here. So we just need to come up with the first part of it. And that's however you wanted to rephrase that question. So you might want to say Reconstruction died from 2 causes or 3 or 4 or whatever you want to do. Okay, so then we will go on to these buckets and see where you're going to have your evidence, your documents transfers over into that. And in the boxes below, you're going to list significant evidence for each bucket. So any key quotes, paraphrased ideas, data, image descriptions, and concrete details. So you can cite your evidence using the parenthetical citation, like just in parentheses. And also when you go to write your essay, you're going to do that as well. And then to add or delete a paragraph, go back to the bucket and chicken foot page here. And then you will either add or delete your bucket. Okay. So if you're wanting to go and say, all right, Southern resistance, let's look at document A, because that's where it says I got stuff from. So, all right, I'm going to do, it is my mournful duty to inform you. Maybe if I want to put that in here. So I would type in here, it is my mournful duty, and you'll put, okay, yes, I was doc A, and so on and so forth. There's another key thing, maybe from document B that you want to put there, and maybe about character of those men who were engaged in whipping you, okay, or freed men were whipped to scare them from participating in government or in voting. And then again, you'll do in parentheses doc B. Okay. So you'll do that for both of these. Again, make sure you're saying where you got them from. You can also go to these. And again, once you click on it, it comes right up. Okay, so if you had highlighted stuff back in this or annotated, you can go and see that immediately. Again, it just remind you what some of these words mean by clicking on the bolded terms. Then after that, you will go to your guided essay, and I will do another video for that so you can, doesn't get too confusing. Please ask if you have any questions.